another prompt. I am Juju and this is Juju Sage. I am a little under the weather, so please excuse me. I may have to edit out some sneezes. I may not be able to edit out some sneezes. We're gonna see what happens, okay? So I'm working on the least favorite ephemera and bookbinder's art. Okay, so I went through my book of ephemera, and you may be looking at this and saying, oh, that's cool how all the ephemera is stuck in here. I personally would not recommend this. This is something I did when I first started doing, when I first started junk journaling. And I thought it was really cool that everything is sticking here. And it is cool that it will stick on here. However, let me see if I can get the right frame here so I can show you close, but not too close. Okay. So the problem becomes this, and I am a visual person, and you have to, because it has two-sided tape on the back of it, so it's sticky. Well, I can put some candle wax and rub it on it to dull that stickiness out. But I thought that that would work fine. And it does. Don't get me wrong. You can do this and use that. However, when you're trying to use a couple of pieces, like I'm going to use these 4 pieces here, and you're doing that every time, it gets a little burdensome. So I try to take it out of the book and put it on the ephemera right when I do it, but I don't like that because, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, I need to ink it. I like to move things around. So I think I'm going to put some candle wax on the back of these 4 pieces. But this is something I made a while back, and it's my least favorite ephemera. I used some old cardstock that was written on, and I just don't like it. So I'm going to work with this today. And then for the bookbinder's art part, I couldn't find my backings to my books that I've taken apart. I just moved all of my stuff downstairs. I don't have the proper storage yet to put everything in a perfectly great place. So everything's kind of like all over the place. So I'll have to find that. So in the meantime, and to do this prompt, I did find this where this was like my very first book, and I worked with it, and then I took it apart. And so anyways, long story short, I don't want to use it or whatever. So I'm going to take one of these pages that I think that will work with this ephemera, and use that. Which I think the ephemera is, like I said, it's my least favorite, so it's pretty freaking ugly anyway. I don't think it's ugly. I just think I don't like the back, and I think I was just trying too many things at once, because I had tried the postcard. You see the stamps on the back. Then I put the bird on it, which doesn't really go with that. So maybe if I put some stamps on the bird and on the scents, that would work. So this thing is stuck to, you see this is things you try to do when you're new. And ooh, I like this one. Let's do this one. Try to do when you're new, and it didn't go well, as you can see. So let me tear this out. There you go. All right, I like this background. So I'm gonna see what I can do with this. First, I'm gonna go ahead and extra off and go from there. So I've cut around this. Just cut these pieces off, which I was looking at them. I may want to use them in here, but we'll see. I think what I'm going to do is cut this up and maybe re-stick it on here and use some of the try to put some of these maybe on top of that. So just to see what that looks like. sometimes. The double-sided tape stuck to the back of the book, so it came right off there, which does happen sometimes. Like, you can, you know, not to say it's absolutely horrible, you can sometimes peel it off. However, which I'm glad I was able to peel that off. The issue becomes when you're using, oh, my nail came right off. When you're using, let's see, this is ripping. Thinner paper, which I was in the beginning, it ripped it. So that's a thing to consider as well. So with that, you know, if you're just going to use cardstock, and that one came off too, so that worked, then this may be the method for you. Trying to get a rough idea of what I'm going to do here. If I want to leave some like spaces to do this. And I guess technically this is cardstock with a book page stuck to the back of it. So it probably doesn't qualify as bookbinder's art. But I'm gonna rock with it and do it anyway. The whole, my whole purpose of Defemerember is to do it in the least stressful way possible. I also have these tickets that I have from my swap partner, which I think would go well with the blues. So I'm trying to decide if I want to stick it on like this at the end, or put it in here with the pieces and separate this. I think I kind of like it on here, so maybe I'll do that. I got more tickets, so if I need to change my mind. Okay, I'm going to just stick this down. Okay, so I have sewn all the pieces in, and I cut these two pieces off. This was down here lengthwise and this on this side because I checked my journal and it was too big. So this is what I have now. I think I want to go over this with some gesso. Okay, I have a dry brush. It's really stiff, so let's see how this works. I'm just gonna go over this. Let's see. The thing Barbara says is if you don't like it, just keep going. I don't like it. So I think I'm going to put some, if I had some like some distress ink to spray on this, I totally would do that right now. But I don't. But I do have rust water, which will take several hours to dry. Let's see. And I also have, I could put some more gesso on it, I guess, to kind of dull that back a little. Let's try that. Gonna work it out. Okay, I'm gonna dry this again and see if I used enough gesso, and I will be right back. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to use these scraps that I put together a long time ago. It was just paper clipped book pages, and magazine pages, so this is fitting for this prompt. And then maybe put this behind it. And I'm also thinking of putting the 11 stamp down here as well. So the first challenge, however, is how do I want to stick this on here? Because it's so thin, if I get it wet, I know it will show more of the background, which is fine. I don't mind that at all. And then my other thought is to sew it on. So I'm a little unsure how to proceed here. If I glue it on, let me see. I don't think I have any matte glue. I think I'm out. So that means it would be shiny. So that's good to know, because I don't think I want shiny edges. I also think it would be cool if some of this was hanging off and like kind of ratted or ratty-tatty. Ratted. Maybe if I use my scissors that makes the thing around it, that would look good too. Let me try that. And if I don't like that, then I can of course just, let's first see how well this tears. It tears pretty well. Okay, good to know. This when I ripped when I was pulling the thread. So, and some extra long pieces of thread, which I generally don't mind loose thread, but I'm gonna cut some of these down. Okay, it's kind of bubbly, and it actually looks like a completely different piece, honestly, at this point. Trim these edges up a little. Now that we have it sewn on. Trying to give myself a little space, because generally when I sew, for some reason, it doesn't work that way I envision it will. And I get it exactly right, so I'll try to make it a little bigger. Okay. Alrighty. Let's add these pieces and see what we can do with this. I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to try not to overthink this too much, because will, if given the opportunity. See, I like it has that page, the page number on here, but you won't be able to see it, but we know, we know. Butterfly to come out a little, even though it's going to flatten out, of course, in the book, but give it a little wings some. Okay, I'm going to put the 11 at the bottom here. It still looks a little, not a little, a lot of plain, in my opinion. Splatters, I think some splatters would bring this to the next level. Okay, I have found these beautiful leaves I had got at the Dollar Tree. They're actually foam, so there's two-sided here. Or the other part, and there was this white square, which I'm not going to show you. There it is. That was on the back of that, so I just stuck it that way. Which I'm starting to like this piece. So trying to find something to mix some water and some of this paint on. Oh, you know what? This mason jar lid will do. Use what we have. I have a paint palette thing somewhere, but again, I kind of in chaos right now. Ooh, that was more than I needed. I really want to get the watercolor golds and because you know they'll last, and I can just keep them in the tray, and this will dry. You know, what I don't use, unfortunately, will be wasted if I don't use it in the next few days. So I may be putting gold splatter on everything. I'm using my dirty water to do this too. Okay. This is quite messy. I'm trying not to get my desk ruined, but I don't have my mat out, so let's do it. Okay. Doubt this is gonna protect much, but that's okay. Ooh, that's pretty. I like the big drops. Some on the butterfly directly. Okay, I like that. Now that's a nice little piece. So I guess there is some truth to keep going until you like it. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.